Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going to be talking about my top 5 fragrances from the House of Creed that are not Creed Aventus. So the 5 on this list are alternatives from the House of Creed that are not Creed Aventus because, as you may know, or if you don't know, Creed Aventus is Creed's most popular fragrance, and it's actually, I think, the most popular niche fragrance of all time, I think. It really put Creed on the map, and there's been so many clones of that fragrance. I think I have actually got one by there. I've got a Club de Nuit Intense Man, which is a very popular clone as well of Creed Aventus. And I don't know, I just thought, well, the House of Creed, it is, you can say whatever you want about the history of it, but at the end of the day, they do make good fragrances, good high quality fragrances. So this video is just to show new people into the House of Creed, or if you do own Creed, you can get my take on it, on what the top 5, apart from Creed Aventus, is from their lineup. So the 5 I've included on this list are all the ones in my collection. These aren't necessarily the best ones. There are a few that I'll name off, like Royal Oud would be in this list. I just don't have a bottle of it. Original Santal, that may make it into this list, but again, I don't have a full bottle of it. But nonetheless, the 5 on this list are still absolutely amazing, and there's a reason why I decided to pick up a bottle of them. And just before we start the list, guys, please don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you are a fan of fragrances. It really does help me out on the channel. We are nearly at 1,000 subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough. I might do a special video for 1,000, like my current collection ranked or something. I haven't done one of them for quite a while. My collection's grown loads since then, so I might do that for that. But I just want to say thank you guys so much. And with that said, let's kick things off with the number 5 spot. We've got no honorable mentions this time. So we are going to kick things off with, unfortunately, one of my favourite from the House of Creed, but over the years, it's got worse. They've reformulated it because I don't think under like fragrance laws and stuff like that, you can't actually get this note, which is ambergris, which is the sick of a whale. I don't think you can actually use that anymore. I think they have to substitute it with a synthetic alternative, being ambroxan. And to me, the fragrance just isn't the same as what it was a few years ago. And it's a real shame because it was my favourite. And that is this one here, still in the coolest bottle design. And that's this one, which is Creed Millam Imperial. It's such a cool bottle design. So Millam Imperial, this is classed on the Creed website as a citrus, marine and woody smell. So I'd say, yeah, that does sound just about right. To me, this just smells like a fresh, salty sea breeze with like a light hit of melon to it. It just reminds me of just being on like a beach somewhere in a tropical country, and you've got like a fruit salad in front of you. And it really is the case. But unfortunately with this one, they really tone down the salty sea breeze air, like ozonic feel that you get. They used to be a lot better, but this current batch that I've got, this is an F batch, and people say it's like the old ones, but it's not. Like, it is still good, and it has still got that DNA in there somewhere, but it just feels like it's been pushed all the way down to the bottom of the fragrance, and instead it just feels like you're smelling like the fruity floral notes in here, which is a shame because this used to be a lot better than it used to be. Again, as well, the performance isn't the best, but I really don't mind overspraying this thing because of how nice it does smell, how classy and sophisticated, but casual on the same time. So coming at the number 5 spot, amazing nonetheless. It's just, for me, it's gone down quite a few ranks, and that's Millam Imperial. Okay, coming in at the number 4 spot. This one is a very new one in my collection, and I'm actually wearing it on my hand as my scent of the day. Oh man, this one is good. This one you can smell a lot more than Millam Imperial. This is a 2002 release. This is one of the more unique ones from the Creed lineup. This one shares the same kind of Creed DNA that most of the other ones have. If you kind of stripped everything back from Creed fragrances, I feel like this is what you get left with. I feel like this one is Silver Mountain Water's more sophisticated older brother, and the one that we are talking about is this one here. Such a cool bottle design in my opinion, and that is Creed's Himalaya. So Himalaya, according to the Creed website, is a woody, fresh, spicy and aromatic smell. And I'm just going to remind myself, yeah, so Himalaya, if I can describe this to anything, it smells like a soft, fuzzy, woody smell with a little bit of smoke to it. And I went to the Creed boutique a few days ago, and they obviously, you know, if you don't know too much about Creed and stuff like that, most of the stories are fake, but the woman at the boutique told me that this was inspired by walking up the Himalayas or something like that, or walking up like the mountains, and whenever they blast away the snow and you get left with the ice and the snow, but also the smoke from all the gunpowder they use, because there is actually a gunpowder note in Himalaya, and it has got that. It has got a kind of warm smokiness to it, but done in a nice, clean way. And it's definitely not something like by the fireplace smokiness. It's like a really toned down, almost smooth white smoke, if that makes sense. But it's a great fragrance. It's perfect for the office. I do get a decent performance because I tend to spray this one quite a lot. I get about 5 to 6 hours with 5 to 7 sprays, which is quite good for a Creed fragrance. And this one seems to kind of linger on clothes for a really long time, because when you come to the dry down, you get this beautiful sandal note in here, a sandalwood note, I should say. And it's super sophisticated. It's so addicting, this fragrance. So coming in at the number 4 spot, you've got Creed's Himalaya. Okay guys, coming in at the number 3 spot, this is a Creed fragrance that I absolutely love. I have got about 60 fragrances on my collection, and I hardly ever wear the same fragrance 2 days in a row. I always kind of switch it up, and no 2 days are the same whenever I'm wearing fragrances. But this fragrance, I don't know what it did to me, but for a few weeks, I think I wore this every single day, and it was just amazing. It's such a nice fragrance. So I had a full bottle, and I've managed to come down to this level, and that's this one here, Creed Viking. It's just below the label thing by here. So Creed Viking, let me just smell it real quick. Oh man. This thing is a lot stronger than the other two on the list. So Creed Viking is classed as an aromatic fougere, spicy and woody fragrance. And yes, I can confirm that is very true. You have got an almost kind of out of the barber fougere smell to it. Very spicy. This reminds me of like a hot tamale sort of thing, candy sweet. And it also reminds me of Old Spice. I know it gets compared to Old Spice, but this is done in a much more refined, classy way compared to that one. And this is supposed to be the mix of fire and ice, which I think relates to the name, because whenever Vikings used to pillage, obviously they come from snowier, colder countries, and when they come to like pillage and stuff like that, they use fire and all stuff like that. So I think that was the reasoning behind this one. There are a lot of people online that say this is terrible, or they used to. And the reason why they used to do that is because Viking, if you have a look at Himalaya, you can see that it's just the flat bottle design. But with Viking, the way how it's set out with the half part here, and you have the other half as clear, this had the same bottle design as Creed Aventus, which had black and then it had the horse. And most people were expecting this to be an improvement on Aventus, but it unfortunately isn't. But it goes in a completely different direction to Aventus, but I understand how and why Creed said it was the predecessor or the successor, whatever the word is, for Creed Aventus, because it has still got a manliness to it, just like how Aventus has. In terms of smell though, they are nothing alike. This is just such a nice, fresh, uplifting, almost kind of old-fashioned cologne when you spray it on. It gives you a really nice uplifting feel, and I love it for that. You always get whiffs of it whenever you wear it, and you can be like 6 hours down the day, and you can still like get wafts of it if you're in wind and stuff like that. Super good performance, really good reactions, and so versatile. I think anyone over the age of 22 could wear this. It is a little bit mature, but that's not to say that anyone can wear it, to be honest. There's just better suited ones on this list for the younger generation like myself. But it's still great. I still love it. It's so good. I might actually buy a backup bottle of this just because of how good it is. I've spoken about this one a lot. Let's move on to the number 2 spot. Okay guys, so coming in at the number 2 spot, this one was tough. I debated between this one and the number 1 spot for quite a while. Unfortunately, this one just misses out on the number 1 spot just because of the performance. This, even though it surprised me in terms of performance, I remember it used to be quite bad, so maybe Creed have actually bumped it up a little bit to get more sales for this one, because it was known for having really bad performance. But lately, since I've been wearing it, I can smell it on myself like 5, sometimes 6 hours down the line in the day. And this one, surprisingly, is on the same kind of level in terms of the scent profile as Millam Imperial, but this one lasts like 3 times as long. And that's this one here. Creed Arolfa, the almost forgotten fresh Creed fragrance. And Arolfa, I'm just going to smell this quick because I absolutely love it. Oh, man. Oh, maybe I should have put this in number 1, but oh well. Oh my god. Oh man. This Arolfa is classed on Creed as an aromatic fougere, marine and floral. Now, I get what they mean with the fougere. I almost get like a shaving cream smell from this. I do definitely get that. I don't get so much like a barbershop in terms of this one where it's like old-fashioned, but I do get the kind of like shaving cream comparisons and stuff, fougere type. I don't really understand the floral part. I'm not too sure what florals are in this, but it is definitely a marine citrus. So whenever I spray this, it just like kind of transports me to being next to the sea in the Mediterranean, and you're just surrounded by like a burst of lovely lime, other fresh fruits like that. Really good, really citrusy. I can even smell them just from the cap. And this is done in just such a beautiful style. You've got the really nice fresh notes from like lime and stuff like that at the top. I think there's orange in here as well, which could be in the top. And there is also ginger in here, which might end up giving it this almost fougere. I think that might be where the shaving cream smell I get comes from. So good, so classy, perfect for the summertime. This is actually my signature scent. Keep that one quiet. If you follow me on Fragrantica, if not, there is a link down in the description below. I actually class this as my signature scent, and it is. I absolutely love this. I did have a full bottle, which I've just powered through this summer and last summer. Oh, man. I can't describe how much I like this one. Weirdly, whenever I first sprayed this and I first tried it in the Creed Boutique years and years ago, my nose was very undeveloped for this one, and I actually thought that it smelled like wee or like kind of gone off. But if you're able to train your nose, keep going to the boutique and keep trying it, maybe even get a sample, and eventually it might just click. Because for me, there are a bunch of fragrances that I now own that a few years ago I would have never thought I would have got, because I thought they were too harsh, I thought they were too kind of like gone off smelling. But let your nose develop, and this will soon become one of your favorites from the House of Creed. So unsung, so under the radar. This really needs to get more hype in the community. So good. Number 2 spot, Creed Arolfa. Okay, so we have made it to the number 1 spot. I just want to say, guys, if you are enjoying this video, please don't forget to drop a like. It really does help on the channel. Number 1. This one was a no-brainer for me. I knew it was going to be in the number 1 or the number 2 spot. It's such a staple. Most people say that Creed Aventus is the king of fragrances, but this one is the original king. This one came out in 1985, whereas Aventus came out in 2010, I think. And the one that we are talking about in the number 1 spot, timeless, classy, refined, unhateable, I think is the word I'm looking for there. You can't dislike it. It's so safe, but it's so pleasing as well. I get so many good compliments with it. I absolutely love wearing this one. I get amazing performance. There's been a lot of clones of it, a lot of interpretations of the DNA from the same perfumer, by the way. That's a separate thing. But number 1 spot, guys, in the most awesome bottle design, so out of the way, you've got Creed's Green Irish Tweed. So Green Irish Tweed, on the Creed website, they class this one as an aromatic fougere, green and mossy woods. And I definitely understand what they say with the green aspect. This was actually my scent of the day and kind of the reason why I'm filming this video. Green Irish Tweed is a soapy, mossy greenness. It just reminds me of like almost freshly cut grass is what most people compare this to. To me, the best way I describe it is like being in an Irish country mansion, and it just looks out to like a rolling field of green, freshly cut grass, and it goes down to like the salty sea that you get from the Irish Sea, coming in from the Atlantic. And that's probably the best way I can paint this one. This is so timeless. It's so clean, classy. I think any age can wear this. This is such an old money scent. And I can imagine like whenever this first came out back in 1985, before the internet, that like someone from, you know, like a millionaire from like the New York Stock Exchange or like a, you know, a finance bro would go and tell people, oh, I've just been to France, I've just been to the Creed boutique, and I've just picked up a $100 fragrance, and it's this one. And everyone would be like asking him, what are you wearing? Because that smells amazing. And they would be wearing this, Creed's Green Irish Tweed. Pierre Bourdon's masterpiece. To me, this is actually, thinking about it, more of a staple in Creed's lineup than Aventus. Aventus, although it was amazing, it is amazing, and it is the most sold niche fragrance of all time. I feel like this one from Creed should be the one that most people think about when they think of Creed, because it's been out for the longest time. I think if you're in the fragrance community and you know about this one, it's kind of like if you know, you know. Which is funny because when you see this at the Creed boutique and you've got all the other like fancy bottle designs, like you've got Millam Imperial in front of it, you've got like the silver Himalaya in front of it, and then you get like the gold caps and stuff from Aola. This one just kind of sits in the background. And to me, I always find it funny that like this is like trying to be stealthy and like kind of gatekeeping itself, so that most people, unless you know, don't actually buy it, which is quite great. So coming in at the number 1 spot, you've got Green Irish Tweed. So classy, so nice. And it's going to be in my collection forever. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what your top 5 Creed fragrances are. And with that said, I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.